Alright guys, a new age of conquest in Total War is on the horizon, and its name is 885 AD, the latest massive overhaul mod in development for Total War Attila from the Anno Domini modding team, who are famous for their big Total War mods like 1051 AD and others, but also their brilliant Dark Ages mods on Mountain Blade Bannerlord as well. 885 AD on Attila isn't just a reskin or patch, it's a full-scale reimagining of the medieval world, set in the volatile aftermath of Charlemagne's empire when Europe was once again a battleground for power. While currently only available to supporters and testers of the development team, the team kindly gave me access to see how things are going, what exciting work they've been getting up to, and more. So today I'll be going through a behind-the-scenes preview look at a brilliant example of what this mod team are capable of on Attila, and while it's not public yet, the groundwork has been laid for something extraordinary, a full 9th century overhaul with new factions, new mechanics, and a scale that transforms the base game completely. So let's start with a campaign, at the heart of which 885 AD has really prioritized scale, where many historical mods pick a corner of Europe to focus on or a single dynasty as a focal point. 885 AD goes big, pulling together the full extent of Europe, the Middle East, and the steppe into a campaign that feels global in reach and grounded in its historical moment. The campaign map itself uses the foundation built by their previous mod, Anno Domini 919 AD, but with significant enhancements to reflect the geopolitical chaos of the late 9th century. The Carolingian Empire is fracturing, Viking kingdoms are emerging in the west and raiding distant lands, and in the east, the great nomadic powers are on the move. So really, the main factions to get into here are Central European, Northern Viking, and the hordes of the East. The nomadic mechanics of Attila have been reimagined to represent the Magyars here, Khazars, Pechenegs, and other steppe cultures, replacing the old Huns and the Germanics from the vanilla game. At the same time, though, the Western raiders, the Norse, have replaced the old Germanic tribes here as well, allowing you to play as characters like Rollo, for example, the Viking chieftain who would go on, of course, to found the Duchy of Normandy. So some pretty amazing, epic opportunities here to create some fantastic historical gameplay and campaign role-playing, which I'm sure we all definitely enjoy doing. What's fascinating to me, though, is how the mod draws a deliberate parallel between the fall of the Roman Empire and the collapse of the Carolingian order. In many ways, the barbarian migrations and fragmented post-imperial Europe of the 9th century mirror what happened 5 centuries earlier, and the developers took full advantage of that analogy, not just thematically but mechanically as well, reusing and reshaping Attila's original systems to breathe new life into them in a completely different era. And it's not just the aesthetics, the gameplay has been deeply reworked, though some faction rosters like the Khazars are still being completed. The core gameplay is here. The balance of settled versus nomadic powers, the threat of migration, the pressure on frontier kingdoms, all of it feeds into a campaign that feels dynamic, dangerous, and historically rich. While, as with other mods, unit rosters generally could do with a bit more, everything else here, especially AI behavior-wise, is really quite fun and challenging. Over on the battlefield side of things, 885 AD is shaping up to offer a stark contrast between heavily armored, Christianized Western armies and more fluid, mobility-based tactics of the steppes and, of course, the Scandinavian factions. Because this era is in many ways transitional. From tribal warbands to feudal standing armies, you'll see a wide variety of unit compositions depending on culture and faction, and some kingdoms rely on noble cavalry and mailed infantry, while others field raiders, archers, and light horsemen that hit hard and fade away very quickly. The mod team has also made clever use of vanilla Attila's core systems, giving each faction traits and unit behavior that are unique and dynamic. The hordes in particular are deadly in early games, striking from unexpected directions and destabilizing established realms. And like I said, while some of the units' rosters are still in development, the battlefield already delivers on one of the mod's key goals: to make every culture feel distinct, both visually and tactically. This isn't just a copy-paste effort, it's a full overhaul in motion. Of course, other systems, morale, fatigue, melee stats especially, and general balancing can all probably do with a bit more work and tweaking, as this is quite new, and with more units hopefully on the way. Generally, battles here are still quite enjoyable. Definitely get that straight, especially with a brand new custom city battle map that I'm happy to share with you publicly for the first time here. Based on Charlemagne's Palace complex at Aachen, the spiritual and political heart of the Carolingian Empire, this new Western Europe map isn't just a reskinned settlement, it's a complete rebuild from the ground up. The new map features entirely custom architecture, including towering new walls, new building meshes, large defensive turrets that are really good looking, and a sprawling inner citadel, at the center of which lies the crown jewel, a handcrafted church structure modeled after Charlemagne's own chapel, which stood both as a sanctuary and a symbol of power. This new map offers verticality, choke points, and complex interior defenses, a full-scale medieval fortress where battles feel gritty, claustrophobic, and brutally cinematic. It's not just one of the best-looking settlements in Attila modding, or just generally modding, it sets a new benchmark for what's possible in Total War custom map design. I've always loved the Anno Domini team's custom battle maps, and it has to be said this is absolutely another fantastic addition, another reason to get into their mods generally. The tactical layouts, the beautiful details, it's all here and it's all amazing. Overall, 885 AD isn't public yet, like I said, but what we've seen so far shows that it's well on its way to becoming one of the most distinguished and detailed and mechanically rich mods for Total War Attila, and another great addition to the Anno Domini roster of beautiful mods for this game. And what began, honestly, as a simple extension of one of their other mods, 919 AD, has grown into a full transformation of the game, from the politics of the campaign, the factions that are playable, the chaos of the battlefield, from horde invasions to palace sieges. Everything here really is worth checking out. Like I said, right now, the mod is only available to testers and supporters of the development team, who are helping fund the time, tools, and testing required to bring a project of this scale to life. Once internal testing is complete, a public release will follow, just as any other mod that they've developed for the game. And when it does, it's going to reshape how we experience the 9th century in Total War. Check out the Patreon page below if you're interested in signing up and getting early access that you can have all here right now, what you're seeing. Otherwise, I've also placed the Discord server link below as well if you'd like to stay up to date with the latest news around this brilliant mod and all the other mods that they're working on too. Also, if you're passionate about this period of history, if you want to support high-quality, community-driven projects, and if you're a modder, artist, scripter, or historical researcher, the team would love to hear from you. There's still plenty of work to do, and your talents could help bring this vision across the finish line. And that's it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you did, give it a like, drop any thoughts or questions in the comment section below, and let me know what other mods and updates you'd like me to cover on this channel next. Subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this, and thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.